The general skincare guidance at the start of the script below aligns with mainstream advice from the American Academy of Dermatology, the NHS, and Mayo Clinic. Cleanse gently, avoid overwashing and scrubbing, don't squeeze blackheads, use non-comedogenic products, and give routines time to work. Blackhead prevention works best when it is gentle, consistent, and realistic, because blackheads usually form slowly as oil, dead skin cells, sweat, leftover product, and ordinary daily friction collect in the opening of the pore over time. So the smartest goal is not to attack the skin, but to keep it calmer, cleaner, and less congested without creating fresh irritation. A simple routine is often more effective than an exciting one. Cleanse the face in the morning and again at night with a mild cleanser and lukewarm water, because very hot water can strip the skin barrier and leave the face feeling tight, dry, and more reactive. Use your fingertips rather than rough scrubs, abrasive cloths, or stiff cleansing brushes, because blackhead-prone skin usually responds better to calm handling than to aggressive rubbing. If you sweat after exercise, yard work, housework, hot weather, or a long day under sunscreen and makeup, it helps to rinse or cleanse the skin as soon as practical, because sweat mixed with oil and residue can sit on the skin and add to that heavy, clogged feeling. Avoid squeezing, scraping, pinching, digging, or trying to force blackheads out at home, because that often causes more redness, swelling, irritation, lingering marks, and regret than the original blackheads ever caused. Choose non-comedogenic products whenever possible, including moisturizer, sunscreen, makeup, and hair products, especially if your hair touches your forehead, temples, or cheeks. A lightweight moisturizer can help because skin that becomes too dry often becomes irritated, and irritated skin makes people impatient, and impatient people are exactly the ones most likely to stand too close to a bathroom mirror and start making decisions they would not defend the next morning. If you use over-the-counter acne care, it is usually smarter to begin slowly with one well-chosen active ingredient instead of layering several strong treatments at once. Salicylic acid may help keep pores clearer, and adapalene may help reduce clogged pores over time, but patience matters more than panic. Improvement usually comes from steady use over time, not from one dramatic weekend of treating your face like a chemistry experiment. Remove makeup before bed, change pillowcases regularly, clean the things that touch the face often, like phone screens, eyeglass frames, hat bands, and helmet straps. Keep heavier oils and styling products away from acne-prone skin when you can. Try not to rest your face in your hands for long stretches while reading, thinking, worrying, driving, scrolling, or politely listening to a story that should have ended 15 minutes ago. Stress management matters too, not because stress alone causes every blackhead, but because stress often leads to poor sleep, rushed cleansing, more face touching, more picking, skipped routines, and the kind of late-night bathroom behavior that always feels strangely productive until daylight arrives with a very different opinion. Diet does not need to become a courtroom trial, but hydration, regular meals, moderation, and decent sleep support better daily habits overall. If blackheads are stubborn, widespread, mixed with inflamed acne, or simply not improving despite a sensible routine, professional guidance may save time and frustration. Prevention is rarely glamorous. It usually looks like repeating calm habits, reducing friction, choosing products the skin can tolerate, and remembering that steady care beats dramatic interference most of the time, and that same principle, the principle that not every little thing needs to be picked at, overworked, or turned into a public emergency, would have saved Ronald Eugene Mercer of Willow Pond Gardens in coastal Virginia a remarkable amount of social embarrassment if anyone had explained it to him before the Thursday he accidentally became the substitute caller for the blank retirement village square dance social and spent the next 40 minutes commanding 12 seniors, 1 folding fan, 3 bad knees, and a woman named Donna who took twirling personally. Ronald, known to everyone as Ronnie except the pharmacist and the tax office, was 77 years old and retired after 39 years as a municipal building inspector. This meant he possessed the permanent facial expression of a man who had once looked at many things and found most of them structurally inadequate. He lived with his wife Marie in a neat 1-story cottage with pale green shutters, a screened porch, and a hall closet full of labeled plastic bins that seemed less like storage and more like a philosophical statement. Marie was 74, a retired choir accompanist with silver hair, good posture, and the unnerving gift of being able to tell when Ronnie was about to create a problem 5 minutes before he did. She loved him in the sturdy, amused, weather-tested way that women do after half a century of marriage to men who believe extension cords reveal character. Willow Pond Gardens was one of those American retirement communities where nobody admitted to being busy, and yet everyone had a calendar that looked like a low-level conspiracy. There was puzzle exchange on Mondays, canasta on Tuesdays, pool aerobics on Wednesdays, ice cream social on Fridays, and on the first Thursday of each month there was Boots and Biscuits night in the clubhouse, a square dance evening organized by the activities committee because, according to them, movement was good for the joints and laughter was good for everything else. Ronnie did not dance. Ronnie believed dancing belonged to other people, younger knees, and periods of American history that had already apologized. Marie, however, loved dance nights, not because she was especially gifted, but because she enjoyed any event where people over 70 chose joy over dignity on purpose. Ronnie would usually sit at the side wall with coffee, clap at appropriate moments, and offer dry-running commentary about the geometry of line formation. "They're drifting left," he'd whisper, or, "No one has respected the spacing." Marie would tell him to hush, which he accepted as one of marriage's gentler traditions. His 3 closest friends at Willow Pond were Clyde Harrison, age 80, retired hardware store owner with selective hearing and a laugh like a garage door opening; Evelyn Price, 73, former church secretary, sharp as vinegar but basically kind; and Walter Dean, 79, widower, retired school custodian, wearer of bolo ties, and owner of the sort of calm face that made his occasional one-line jokes hit like bricks wrapped in velvet. The regular square dance caller was a lean, cheerful man named Buddy Tate from town who wore Western shirts and spoke into a microphone as if he'd been born on top of a hay bale with rhythm in his bones. Buddy knew exactly how much instruction older legs could tolerate before morale collapsed. He had 1 speed for optimism, 1 speed for survival, and 1 emergency speed for when Harold from Building C decided to improvise. The whole system worked beautifully, right up until the Thursday in late May, when Buddy called the clubhouse 15 minutes before dance start and announced he had thrown his back out reaching for a weed trimmer. "Can't twist, can't lean, can't even sneeze with authority," he told the activities chair, Dolores Wynn. Dolores, a widow of 69 with bronze lipstick, a whistle lanyard, and the unstoppable command energy of someone who had once run a church bazaar during a thunderstorm, looked out over a room already filling with retirees in soft shoes, denim, and expectant optimism, and did what all dangerous organizers do under pressure. She spotted the nearest competent-looking man and assigned destiny. That man, unfortunately, was Ronnie. He had just sat down with coffee when Dolores strode toward him carrying Buddy's cue cards, the wireless microphone, and a look that should have sent him straight for the exit. "Ronnie, honey, I need you." He set down the coffee slowly. "No, you don't even know the request. I know your face." Dolores smiled the way one smiles at a dog that has already seen the leash. Buddy's out. You just need to call basic sets tonight. Ronnie stared at her. I have never called a square dance in my life. You speak clearly. That is not a qualification. You know left from right. In private, yes. Marie, from the refreshment table where she was helping unfold napkins, looked over and understood instantly that weather had arrived. Clyde whispered, "Oh, this is glorious." Evelyn folded both arms and said, "He's going to do it. I can tell by how offended he is." Ronnie stood up. "Absolutely not." Dolores handed him the microphone anyway. "Just read the cards. Half these people don't know what they're doing even with Buddy, so confidence is more important than accuracy." That sentence should have ended the whole enterprise. Instead, it was taken as encouragement. Within 3 minutes, Ronnie was standing near the stage riser, holding Buddy's stack of cue cards, while Dolores announced to the room, "Small change tonight, folks, but we are in excellent hands." The room applauded. Ronnie looked at Marie with the naked betrayal of a man who expected marriage to include at least one emergency exit. Marie only smiled and mouthed, "Breathe." Ronnie mouthed back, "No," but it was too late. The fiddler from town had arrived, the lemonade had been poured, the couples were milling, and the room had already decided that if Ronnie was in charge, then whatever happened next would at least be memorable. He clicked on the microphone. It squealed immediately, which he took as a bad sign from the universe. "All right," he said. "Can everybody hear me?" Clyde shouted. "Unfortunately, yes," and the room laughed, which was not the respectful beginning Ronnie had hoped for. He shuffled the cue cards. The first one said, "Welcome them in. Form squares, easy start." That sounded manageable. "Please form squares," he said. 4 couples per group. What he did not know was that on dance nights, asking seniors to form squares is less like giving a direction and more like opening a small negotiation among sovereign states. People drifted. One couple insisted on staying near the fan. Another wanted the side with fewer mirrors because mirrors are rude under fluorescent light. Harold from Building C tried to join one square and then changed his mind halfway through, creating a human traffic circle. Ronnie, feeling order leak out of the room, said the sentence that changed everything. "People, this is not hard. Just make a box." The room lost it. Even Marie laughed. Dolores slapped the refreshment table. Ronnie realized, to his horror, that the crowd liked him irritated. The first sequence began. He read the card. "Circle left," they circled. "Now reverse." They mostly reversed. "Promenade," he said, with the tone of a man announcing a plumbing inspection. Somehow, unbelievably, it worked. The lines were clumsy, but cheerful. Couples smiled. Shoes squeaked. Ronnie relaxed by half an inch. Then the second card said do-si-do and back away, and trouble began in earnest. Ronnie pronounced it exactly as written in his own head. Do-si-do. Walter, from the back square, repeated loudly. Do-si-do? Clyde grabbed the nearest chair to keep from falling over laughing. Evelyn bent at the waist. Dolores made a sound like a tea kettle being attacked. Ronnie looked down at the card as if it had betrayed him personally. "Well then," he said, "whatever this is, do that now." The room howled harder. Buddy had never gotten a laugh that big, and he'd been trying for years. From that moment on, the evening belonged to Ronnie whether he liked it or not. He kept going, because men like Ronnie do not stop once the machine is running, even if the machine is now clearly powered by public amusement. Swing your partner. No, not that hard, Harold. She is still a person. Step back, more back than that. Sir, if you are in another square, that is not courtship, that is trespassing. The dancers were delighted. Ronnie had accidentally discovered a style no one had known they needed, the building inspector method of square dance calling. He did not charm, he did not sing, He did not rhyme. He issued deeply practical directives, as if trying to stop a line of filing cabinets from rolling downhill. And for older Americans who had spent decades being told to loosen up by people with too much energy, this was apparently perfect. Marie watched from the side and felt the deep, hilarious satisfaction of seeing a husband become publicly himself in spite of all his efforts otherwise. Then came Donna Willoughby, the woman who took twirling personally. Donna was 72, recently retired from teaching elementary music, quick on her feet, loud in her jewelry, and convinced every dance could be improved with more flourish. On Buddy nights, this was manageable because Buddy expected flourish and could direct around it. Ronnie, however, had no tolerance for unscheduled enthusiasm. Midway through the second set, Donna added a double turn where no double turn belonged, spun straight into Harold's lane, and clipped his shoulder with enough chiffon to start a diplomatic event. The square wobbled. Harold yelped. Donna laughed. Ronnie, seeing geometry collapse in real time, said into the microphone, "No freestyle. This is not jazz." The room erupted. Donna put both hands on her hips and shouted back. "Then call faster," Ronnie replied. "Madam, speed is not the problem. Obedience is the problem." At that, even the fiddler had to stop bowing for a second because he was laughing too hard to see. The dance paused while everyone recovered. Dolores leaned over to Marie and whispered, "I may have to pay Buddy to stay home next month." Marie replied, "You can try, but now they know what's possible." The third set was where Ronnie truly lost all remaining distance from the thing. He stopped merely reading cards and started adjusting them. When one card called for a move he thought looked unsafe for Carl Benson's knee, he substituted, "Everybody just take 2 sensible steps and be proud of it." When 2 squares drifted too close together, he said, "If your elbow can meet a stranger without introduction, your square is too ambitious." He began anticipating trouble. "Donna, no extra spin." "Harold, stay with the person who came with you." "Front square, you are becoming a rectangle. Correct yourselves." The audience at the side tables was now almost as entertained as the dancers. People with lemonade and brownies were staying for the full second hour just to hear what Ronnie would say next. Clyde volunteered this observation to anyone passing within 6 feet. Evelyn declared that if she died tomorrow, she would at least die having seen a man enforce geometry on rhythm. Then came the microphone incident. The wireless pack clipped at Ronnie's waistband had been hanging by a slightly loose belt hook all evening, a fact Dolores had noticed and ignored, because there are only so many small threats a volunteer coordinator can address at once. During a particularly vigorous circle left, one of the dancers backed a touch too far, bumped the speaker stand, which nudged the refreshment table, which rattled the tray of biscuits Dolores had brought for stamina, one of which slid neatly off its paper plate and landed at Ronnie's feet just as he stepped back to avoid Donna's unauthorized spin. He stepped on the biscuit, not hard enough to fall, just hard enough to skid with moral indignation. He lurched, caught himself on the edge of the stage riser, and in doing so, knocked the wireless pack loose. The microphone crackled, swung, and dropped against his thigh, amplifying one very clear, very heartfelt, and very public, "Oh, for heaven's sake." The room exploded. Dancers stopped in place. The fiddler lowered his instrument and bent over laughing. Dolores was no longer capable of management. Marie covered her mouth and had tears in her eyes. Clyde was slapping Walter's shoulder so hard Walter thought something had bitten him. Ronnie, still upright somehow, looked down at the biscuit beneath his shoe, then at the microphone pack hanging by its wire, then at the faces turned toward him in absolute joyful collapse. For a long second he had a choice. He could retreat, apologize, give the cards back to Dolores, and leave with what dignity still clung to his shoulders. Or he could do what life was apparently demanding of him and accept that the evening had passed beyond rescue into community legend. He bent, picked up the crushed biscuit, held it between two fingers, and said into the microphone, "This is exactly why refreshments should observe boundaries." The clubhouse came apart. People were howling, clapping, leaning on walls, wiping their eyes. Donna nearly fell into the lemonade table. Harold had to sit down. Even the fiddler slapped his own knee and said, "Best caller this place ever had." Once the laughter ebbed enough for oxygen to matter again, Ronnie set the biscuit on the piano bench, clipped the microphone back into place, straightened the cue cards, and said, with all the exhausted dignity of a man now fully owned by his own disaster, "Take your partners. We're finishing this properly." The applause that followed felt absurdly grand for a square dance in a retirement clubhouse with folding fans and weak coffee, but it also felt exactly right. The final sets were glorious. Not elegant, not skilled, but glorious. People moved with more ease because the room no longer needed dignity to cooperate. Harold actually stayed in his lane. Donna, though still inclined toward flourish, kept her spins inside the legal county limit. Marie joined the last square, and when Ronnie called "Swing your partner," he looked directly at her and softened his voice in a way that only she recognized. The room noticed something had changed, even if they couldn't have named it. The gruffness was still there, but now it rode alongside warmth. He was no longer fighting the event, he was carrying it. At the end of the night, after the final promenade, the dancers clapped in rhythm and chanted his name until Dolores physically handed him back his own coffee mug from the side table like a medal. "You ridiculous man," she said, hugging him before he could object. "Do you understand what you've done?" "Yes," Ronnie said. "I've made it unsafe to attend Thursdays with a straight face." "You've saved the evening," she corrected. Clyde came over wheezing. "Do-si-do, Ronnie. Do-si-do. I'll be saying that on my deathbed." Evelyn adjusted her cardigan and said, "For the record, you were catastrophically unqualified and therefore perfect." Donna Willoughby floated by, still flushed from dancing. "I disagree with your stance on freestyle, but I respect the authority." "That may be the nicest threat I've ever received," Ronnie replied. Marie took his hand as the room slowly emptied. "Well?" she asked. He looked around at the chairs, the half-empty lemonade cups, the biscuit remains, the smiling faces still talking about him as if he were both person and event. "Well," he said, "I was ambushed by dance culture. And?" He sighed once, then smiled against his own resistance. "And I may have enjoyed more of it than is decent to admit." "Good," she said, "because there's no hiding it now." By breakfast the next morning, the story had spread through Willow Pond with impressive efficiency. Someone taped a paper biscuit to the clubhouse notice board labeled "Observe Boundaries." Dolores had already added Ronnie to next month's tentative program in pencil, which he threatened to erase with fire. The ladies at coffee called out, "Do-si-do," when he entered, and Clyde laughed so hard he snorted creamer through his nose. The maintenance man asked whether square enforcement was now a community service. Even Buddy Tate, the actual caller, phoned from home and said, "I hear you've developed a style," Ronnie replied. "I have developed a reason to distrust biscuits permanently, but the thing that mattered most was quieter." He loosened. Not wildly, not all at once. He still liked order. He still distrusted novelty. He still believed chairs should be arranged with practical respect, but something in him had relaxed around the edges. He no longer resisted every invitation to minor nonsense as if it were an attack on his values. When Dolores later asked if he'd help announce bingo on Tuesday because she liked his command presence, he groaned, which in marriage is often the first form of agreement. One warm evening a week later, Ronnie and Marie sat on their porch swing with 2 glasses of iced tea while the sun went down over the parking lot magnolias and a neighbor somewhere, watered petunias with too much confidence. The air smelled like cut grass and citronella. A radio played softly in the building across the lot. Ronnie rocked once and said, "You know what bothers me?" Marie smiled. "That there are too many possible answers?" "No, what bothers me is that I think the room got better after the biscuit." Marie laughed softly. "That's because the biscuit saved you. The biscuit tried to kill me." "No, the biscuit knocked you loose." He turned to look at her. "You've had that sentence prepared all day, haven't you?" "Longer than that." He sipped his tea. "I was trying very hard not to make a fool of myself." "Yes, then the fool part happened anyway." "Yes, and after that, I stopped trying so hard." "Exactly." She looked out at the darkening sky. "That's true of more things than people think." He was quiet for a moment, then said, "You know, it's not so different from skin." Marie turned to him slowly, already smiling. "Oh no. No. Listen, blackheads. Same principle. People see a small problem, get irritated, start scrubbing too hard, squeezing, poking, forcing, overreacting, and often make it worse. Better to be gentle, steady, do enough, and stop before the whole thing turns into a public event." Marie laughed until her tea almost sloshed over the rim. "You have just built a serious philosophical bridge between dermatology and a crushed biscuit at a square dance." "I'm not saying the fields are identical." "No," she said, wiping her eyes. "Only that you've somehow found a way to make clogged pores and dance geometry sit at the same table." Still true, though. Annoyingly, yes. And maybe that is the real connection between preventing blackheads and surviving ordinary life without exhausting yourself. Not every little flaw needs to be attacked. Not every irritation improves with pressure. Not every small problem deserves a full campaign of fingers, panic, and overcorrection. Sometimes the wiser answer is gentler, slower, steadier, and less theatrical. Clean what needs cleaning. Reduce the friction. Keep the routine simple. Do enough and then stop. And if the biscuit still slides, if the microphone still crackles, if Donna still spins too far, and the whole room laughs, then laugh too, and let the thing become a story, instead of a wound. Ronnie Baxter never became carefree in any permanent or saintly sense. He still distrusted extension cords left in emotional loops, still preferred written instructions to vibes, and still believed community refreshment tables should be protected by modest railings. But after the Thursday, he accidentally became the square dance caller Willow Pond didn't know it needed. He carried his dignity a little looser, his wife's laughter a little more gratefully, and his own urge to control every moving part with much less authority than before. For a man like Ronnie, that was real progress. And for Willow Pond, it was even better because it became one of those stories older Americans tell over iced tea, brownies, folding chairs, and weak coffee. A story about marriage, dancing, public embarrassment, small disasters, and the comforting truth that a person can still surprise himself long after he thinks every usable part of his character has already been labeled, sorted, and put away for good.